She doesn't hate you. She doesn't ignore you. She's fighting herself because loving you scares her. Listen to me carefully. When a woman truly starts to care, her behavior does not become obvious. It becomes complicated. You expect warmth, you expect reassurance, you expect clarity. But real feelings, they create tension. When she doesn't want you to know she loves you, she becomes careful, measured, almost strategic. The first sign is emotional restraint. She feels more than she shows. You'll notice it in the pauses, in the way she starts to say something vulnerable, then changes the subject, in the way her eyes soften for half a second before she rebuilds the wall. A woman who doesn't care doesn't filter herself around you. She's casual, relaxed, detached. But when she's hiding feelings, she becomes hyper-aware. She replays conversations in her head. She wonders if she revealed too much. She worries that if she leans in too soon, you'll lean back. And most men misread this restraint as disinterest. You think if she liked me, she'd show it. No. If she trusted that you were solid, she might. But when feelings grow faster than certainty, she protects herself. The second sign is inconsistency in attention. Some days she's warm, engaged, playful. Other days she pulls back slightly, not cold, just distant enough to make you question things. This isn't manipulation. It's internal conflict. Part of her wants to move closer. The other part whispers, slow down, don't fall too fast, don't lose control. Women value emotional safety deeply, and when she feels herself falling, she doesn't always celebrate it. Sometimes she resists it, so she matches your energy carefully. She won't overinvest. She won't double text impulsively. She won't always initiate even when she wants to. Why? Because love shifts power, and she doesn't want to feel powerless. The third sign is subtle jealousy. She pretends not to feel. Watch her reactions, not her words. When you mention another woman, a coworker, a friend, even casually, does her tone change? Does she ask small follow-up questions that seem neutral but she won't accuse you, she won't confront you directly? That would reveal too much. Instead, she gathers information quietly. If she didn't care, she wouldn't care. But when she's hiding love, jealousy leaks through micro-expressions, a tightened smile, a delayed response, a shift in posture. She wants to know where she stands. She just doesn't want you to know. She wants to know. And here's what you must understand as a man. A woman who is indifferent is easy to read. She's consistent in her distance, but a woman who feels deeply while pretending not to. That's where confusion lives. You might feel like you're walking through emotional fog, but fog doesn't appear where there's nothing. It forms where warmth meets cool air. If you're sensing mixed signals, don't jump to insecurity. Don't chase harder, and don't withdraw in pride. Observe. Because when a woman hides love, she reveals it in fragments, not declarations. And if you're patient enough to read the fragments, you'll start seeing what she's trying so hard not to show. She tests your emotional strength without ever calling it a test. Not because she wants to play games, but because her heart is negotiating with her fear. When a woman is hiding love, she studies you more closely than you realize. She listens between your words. She watches how you react to pressure, to disagreement, to silence. She wants to know if you're stable, not just when things are good, but when they're uncertain. So she'll disagree with you sometimes, not aggressively, just enough to see if you become defensive. She might challenge your opinion. She might tease you in a way that feels slightly sharp. She's not trying to disrespect you. She's measuring your emotional control. A woman who is falling but doesn't want to admit it needs reassurance, not through compliments, but through consistency. If you overreact, she pulls back. If you get needy, she retreats. If you stay calm, grounded, unshaken, she relaxes. Because hidden love needs proof before it reveals itself. Another sign, she remembers everything. Small details you mentioned weeks ago, your favorite coffee, that stressful meeting, the way you said you hate being misunderstood. She won't announce that she cares, but she will quietly store information like it matters, because it does. When she brings up something you forgot you even said, don't dismiss it as random. That's investment. Attention is currency, and she's spending it on you. But here's where most men sabotage themselves. They assume her silence means indifference. When she doesn't constantly validate you, you think she's unsure. No, she's protecting her leverage. Love, especially in the early stages, feels like vulnerability, and vulnerability feels like risk. She doesn't want to be the one who falls harder. She doesn't want to be the one who needs more, so she mirrors your pace. If you slow down, she slows down. If you disappear, she won't chase, even if she misses you. If you show strength, she feels safer leaning in. And here's a subtle but powerful clue. She reacts to your absence. Not dramatically, not emotionally explosive, but you'll feel it. If you pull back slightly, not as a game, but naturally, she notices. Her messages might become slightly warmer. She may initiate after being quiet. She may check in casually. Hey, you've been busy. That's not small talk. That's concern disguised as composure. A woman who doesn't care lets distance grow comfortably. A woman who cares but hides it feels distance like tension in her chest. She just refuses to say it out loud. And watch how she handles compliments. When you praise her sincerely, she might deflect, laugh it off, change the topic. Not because she doesn't appreciate it, but because praise creates intimacy. Intimacy lowers defenses, and she's not ready to drop them completely. But her eyes, they won't lie. You'll see a flicker of softness before she masks it again. This is the paradox of hidden love. She moves toward you emotionally while pretending to stand still. As a man, your job is not to interrogate her feelings. It's not to demand clarity prematurely. It's to maintain your center. Women open fully when they feel emotionally safe, not pressured. If you stay steady, confident, patient, the walls she built to protect herself will slowly become doors. And when that happens, you'll realize she was loving you long before she ever said it. She downplays the connection, but she never walks away. That contradiction is your clue. When a woman doesn't want you to know she loves you, she'll minimize what's happening between you. She'll call it nothing serious. She'll joke about not being the romantic type. She might even remind you that she's focused on herself right now. Listen carefully. Those words are protection, not truth. If she truly felt nothing, she wouldn't need to redefine it. One of the strongest signs she's hiding love is emotional availability that doesn't match her label. She may say she's not looking for anything. Yet she answers your late-night calls. She listens to your frustrations. She gives thoughtful advice. She checks on you when you're sick. She invests emotional labor quietly. That's not casual. A woman who doesn't care keeps interactions light and convenient. A woman who cares but hides it shows up consistently, just without claiming the title. Watch how she reacts when you're vulnerable. If you open up about a fear, a childhood memory, a failure, does she lean in? Does her voice soften? Does she give you her full attention? When feelings are growing, she becomes protective of your emotional world. She may not say, "I love you," but she will defend your confidence. She'll remind you of your strengths. She'll subtly build you up when you doubt yourself. And here's something most men overlook. She gets quiet when emotions run deep. Not bored, not disconnected, quiet. When conversations start touching real intimacy, the future, commitment, deeper affection, she might pause, change tone, slow down. That pause is not rejection. It's her heart catching up with her guard because when love sneaks up on her, she feels exposed. Another powerful sign is how she integrates you into her private world slowly. Maybe she mentions you to a close friend. Maybe she sends you a song that reminded her of something. Maybe she shares a story she hasn't told many people. These aren't grand gestures, they're breadcrumbs. Women reveal love in layers, not explosions. And if she's hiding it, those layers come wrapped in subtlety. Now, pay attention to her body language when you're physically present. Does she face you directly when you talk? Mirror your movements. Maintain eye contact a second longer than necessary. Physical proximity becomes instinctive when emotions deepen. She might sit closer than she needs to. She might find small reasons to touch your arm, adjust your collar, brush against you accidentally. She'll never announce that she craves closeness, but her body won't fully cooperate with the lie. Here's the deeper psychology you must understand. When a woman doesn't want you to know she loves you, it's rarely because she lacks feelings. It's because she fears imbalance. She fears loving more than she's loved. She fears investing more than she receives. She fears losing control of her emotional independence. So she measures everything: your tone, your effort, your consistency. If she senses you're grounded, not desperate, not unpredictable, her resistance weakens. But if you chase her for reassurance, if you demand clarity too soon, she'll reinforce the wall. Patience isn't weakness here. It's power. Because the man who doesn't panic in uncertainty becomes the safe place she didn't know she was searching for. And once she feels that safety, hiding love becomes exhausting. That's when the shift happens. Not loudly, but undeniably. She creates emotional distance right after moments of closeness. That shift confuses you. One night she's warm, open, almost glowing around you. The next day she's composed again, slightly reserved, as if nothing intense happened. That pattern isn't random. When a woman is hiding love, intimacy triggers vulnerability, and vulnerability triggers defense. After she feels too much, after laughing too freely, talking too deeply, or holding eye contact too long, her mind steps in and says, "Careful." So she recalibrates. She won't disappear, she won't become cold, but she'll dial it back just enough to regain control. She may take longer to reply. She may keep conversations lighter. She may avoid revisiting that deep moment you shared. You might think, "Did I do something wrong?" No, you made her feel something real, and real feelings are powerful. They shift dynamics, they introduce risk. Another sign she's hiding love is that she becomes hyper-aware of how she appears to you. She'll pretend not to care what you think, but watch closely. She notices your reactions. She adjusts subtly. If you compliment a certain outfit, she'll wear something similar another time. If you tease her about something playfully, she remembers. When she values your opinion emotionally, your perception of her matters more than she'll admit. And here's a deeper layer. She becomes protective of her independence around you. She'll emphasize how busy she is, how focused she is on her goals, how she doesn't need anyone. That's not a rejection of you. That's reassurance to herself, because love can feel like surrender. And she doesn't want to lose her identity in the process. So she reinforces it verbally. "I'm just doing me. I'm not trying to rush anything. I like my space." Believe her. She does value her space. But when she's hiding love, she also hopes you'll respect that space without disappearing. She wants you steady, not clingy, present, not pressuring. And watch how she reacts when you show interest in other directions, hobbies, ambitions, growth. If she truly didn't care, she'd be neutral. But when feelings are hidden, she becomes quietly attentive. She supports your progress. She encourages your discipline. She admires your focus. Why? Because a woman falling in love wants to feel proud of the man she's choosing, even if she hasn't admitted she's choosing him yet. Now, let's talk about tension. When you're alone together, does the atmosphere sometimes feel charged, not forced, not awkward, just thick? Silences that feel heavy but not uncomfortable? Eye contact that lingers? Moments where words feel unnecessary? That emotional tension is rarely one-sided. If she's hiding love, she won't verbalize that electricity. She won't label it, but she feels it. And here's what separates strong men from insecure ones: interpretation. An insecure man sees her distance after closeness and assumes rejection. He pushes for answers. He demands clarity. He seeks immediate reassurance. A grounded man observes patterns. He notices that despite her pullbacks, she never fully withdraws. She stays connected. She responds. She invests just carefully. Love that's hidden is not absent. It's restrained. And restraint often comes from fear of falling too hard, too fast. If you remain calm in those emotional waves, not over-celebrating the highs, not panicking at the slight lows, you become stability. And stability is irresistible to a woman who is secretly tired of guarding her heart, because eventually, hiding love requires more energy than expressing it. And when she feels safe enough, she'll stop fighting what she feels. Not because you forced her, but because you proved you wouldn't misuse her vulnerability. She almost says it, and then she doesn't. That's the moment you need to recognize. When a woman is hiding love, there will be flashes, tiny cracks in her composure where her true feelings almost escape. A sentence that starts with, "I just really," and then shifts. A look that lingers too long before she looks away. A quiet smile she tries to suppress. Those aren't accidents. They're emotions pressing against restraint. Another powerful sign, she prioritizes you in ways she pretends are casual. She'll adjust her schedule. She'll make time even when she's busy. She'll show up when it matters, but she'll downplay it. It's not a big deal. I was free anyway. I didn't have much going on. Don't believe the minimization. Time is the most valuable currency people have. If she consistently invests hers in you, that's intentional. A woman who doesn't care protects her time. A woman who cares but hides it gives you access while pretending it's coincidence. And watch how she reacts when you're emotionally distant. Not playing games, not manipulative distance, just when you become slightly less expressive or slightly less available because life demands it. If she feels nothing, she adapts easily. If she's hiding love, she feels the shift immediately. Her energy changes. She may ask subtle questions. She may increase effort slightly. She may try to reestablish connection through humor, memories, or shared plans. She won't say, "I miss you," but she'll show you she notices. Now, here's the truth most men never hear. When a woman hides love, it's often because she's waiting for emotional leadership, not dominance, not control leadership. She wants to feel that if she falls, you won't crumble. If she opens, you won't exploit it. If she commits, you won't become complacent. So, she waits. She watches your consistency over time, your reactions under stress, your ability to remain grounded when things feel uncertain. If you chase her for validation, she tightens up. If you withdraw in pride, she mirrors the distance. But if you stay centered, confident, patient, emotionally self-contained, she slowly lowers her guard. Because hidden love doesn't need pressure. It needs proof. Proof that you're steady. Proof that you're not easily shaken. Proof that you value yourself, whether she reveals her feelings or not. And here's the final sign. The one that confirms everything. She stays through small misunderstandings, through minor tension, through moments that could have pushed her away. She stays connected. A woman who doesn't love walks away when it's inconvenient. A woman who is hiding love finds reasons to remain, not loudly, not dramatically, but consistently. So instead of obsessing over whether she says the words, ask yourself this. If she never told you how she felt, would her actions already answer the question? Look at the patterns, not the moods. Look at the investment, not the pride. Look at the consistency beneath the caution. Because sometimes the deepest love isn't the loudest. It's the one fighting itself in silence. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself in your situation right now. Are you reacting to her words, or are you observing her actions? Comment below. Which sign did you recognize in her behavior? 1 through 8. If this opened your eyes, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Because the right man doesn't force love to appear. He becomes strong enough that it feels safe to reveal.